We are not interested in hearing that you are in the minority. We know that. We want you to show some of the backbone and strategic brilliance that Mitch McConnell would have in the minority.
You want to bet that guy's a lefty? An angry voter, Maryland, yelling at Democratic member of Congress Glenn Ivey during his town hall last night for not standing up to President Trump and his policies. I just don't get what they think that's going to look like. Shutting down the government? Now, town halls have gotten feisty on both sides. Here's what happened at last night's Nebraska town hall for Republican member of Congress, Mike Flood.
How can you be against a balanced budget? How can you be against a balanced budget? I support Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency. What message are you sending to these Columbus High School students?
This is what you sign up for, my brothers and sisters. This is an example of why Republicans are doing something I really disagree with, urging their members to not hold town halls. No, no, no. That's what the elites like to do. That's how the powerful protect themselves. But this is about the people, not the powerful. Democrats are pouring money into a new billboard campaign calling Republicans cowards for avoiding their own voters. Again, they're worse is what got you guys where you are. It's not going to get you where you want to be. Joining me now, Nebraska member of Congress Mike Flood, Democratic member of Congress Raja Krishnamoorthi, who just minutes ago wrapped up his own town hall. He does not look like he's been beaten about the head and neck with his own fists, so that's a good sign. Raj, how did it go for you at the town hall?
It went well. It was tremendous energy. And quite frankly, I think the biggest topics that came up were extreme animosity toward Elon Musk and DOGE right now. My district is kind of a blue-purple district, I would say. And so people are behind cost cutting. They want to see waste and fraud removed from government operations. But the way in which it's being done by DOGE is provoking tremendous hostility. The other thing is Medicaid cuts and possible changes to the Social Security Administration, provoking tremendous outpouring of just real negative emotions right now.
Mike Flood, good for you for standing up there. And I respect what you were saying. That is not easy. I grew up watching somebody do that, and I've had to do it a couple of times myself. I think you're doing the right thing, Mike. I know it's not easy. And I know you're both doing the right thing coming on the show like this. I can't tell you how rare it is. Raj, Mr. Flood, you're new on the show. Thank you both for coming on and showing people that it's not as lousy as we believe it is between the two. So, Mike, when you're in there, how do you process the animus? Do you think it's just partisans, or do you think there's something going on that you got to pay attention to?
Well, anytime you're in front of people that are in your district, you got to pay attention. And yeah, there were some partisans in there. There were some concerned citizens that drove an hour and 15 minutes there. And there were some folks that feel like America's on the right track. But you know what I tell people is I got into this business because I feel like I can make a difference. I think that conservative principles that our party embraces should win in the marketplace of ideas. And I'm not afraid to stand in the town square and have the discussion. And, you know, for some of the folks that, you know, really maybe lost their cool last night, I'm very glad that nobody got tossed out of that town hall I had, because I think there's some value in letting them have the opportunity to tell their elected official what they think without fear of, you know, being asked to leave. And so I basically let them say what they were going to say. I made my points. They made their points. And, you know, I did get something from it. I learned a lot about concerns related to the Veterans Affairs Administration that I am going to look into when I get back to Washington next week. So I think these things have value. Oh, and by the way, I want to say a lot of my colleagues on the GOP side, they are engaging in their districts. They are having roundtables. Some are having town halls. Some are, you know, talking to large groups, and they're taking questions and they're talking to the media. So it's not like they're not doing town halls.
I got you. Look, I mean, I get the optics. Do you think it's really about the how? that nobody's against waste, fraud, and abuse. And frankly, as Raja knows and many of his members of the party knows, it's not a good look to be against finding waste, fraud, and abuse. It makes it look like you're just hating on Trump because it's him. But do you think, Representative Flood, that Elon has caused you guys some agita here? That the way he's going about it and what he has said about Social Security and judicial review and how he's been wrong about things has given a bad look to what should be a good effort?
Well, I wish I could say that I had a simple answer, but I was rattled last night, and you just played the clip. I talked about the importance of a balanced budget, and I got booed. I brought it up again, and they booed even louder. This balanced budget, this $36 trillion in debt, is not a red or a blue issue. It took red and blue to get there. It's an American issue. And if they think we have problems now, our problems compound themselves by 100 if the dollar fails and we're unable to pay our debts. And what really rattled me last night is that I got the strange feeling from folks, some of the folks in that audience, that simply talking about balancing the budget was a bridge too far. And if that's the case, we've got bigger problems than we know.
Yeah, but it's about how you balance it. It's about how you balance it, Raj, right? I mean, the argument that you guys should be having, the Democrats, and you do this, so full disclosure, you do this, and there are other Democrats who do it too, which is just, yeah, they stink. That's not the case you're making. You're making a case that there is a way to balance the budget that puts burdens where they need to be and doesn't take from those who already have too little. That's the fight that you want to have, isn't it?
Exactly. I think, first of all, let's just talk about the budget resolution or the budget reconciliation that's coming up. Basically, based on published reports, I'm not part of the negotiating process on the other side, but we're talking about roughly $4.5 trillion in tax cuts being balanced by $2 to $2.5 trillion in spending cuts, and then the rest deficit spending. So we're not really balancing the budget in that instance, but we are cutting a lot of services. And in the House, we just voted on a budget resolution. I voted against it, which called on the Energy and Commerce Committee to find at least $880 billion in cuts. And almost every objective observer says those cuts are going to be to Medicaid. And Medicaid is one of those issues where I talked to these people just now, 5 minutes ago, where so many people rely on Medicaid for their sole source of health care, and they're working. These are working poor, Chris. They're not people that are just sitting around. And so when we're talking about cutting Medicaid to fund tax cuts, people go off the rails, and they are just an 11 on a scale of 10.
Raj, everybody knows that. I know that my Republican friends within the Trump administration are aware of that. That's why he's been very careful to say he doesn't want it to happen. But we'll see in the reconciliation process, and I'll invite you both back to discuss what it means for the American people. Krishnamoorthi, I'm glad that you didn't have to put him up. And Mr. Flood, I appreciate that you got out of there alive. People are angry. That's their right. You guys signed up for this when you wanted to be their representatives. Take care, and thanks for coming on, Mr. Flood. It's good to have you the first time. Raj, always a pleasure. Thanks for having you both. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.